And detail, this guy is from Benin, Africa. Do you guys know Benin?
Benin, I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's near Nigeria in West Africa.
It's near Nigeria or is in Nigeria?
No, near Nigeria.
Okay. That sounds familiar, like a country name.
Yeah, I think in the past we had many slaves that came from that area. It was mainly like Angola, from I think it's kind of south, and then like this area in Nigeria, more, Benin,
like northeast, I think.
West. Yeah, it's like West Coast. Yeah,
northwest.
Exactly.
Interesting.
It's interesting because like Nigeria has a population bigger than ours, which is crazy to think.
Really?
About. Yeah.
Because I know it's big, but it's like more than 200 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's more than 200 million. It's like it's like the state of like Goiás.
Yeah,
it's like small compared to right in the whole country of Brazil. There's like not even 200 million, and there is already more than 200 million. I think
didn't know that. Yeah,
if you want to fact check me,
I've watched some homemade films from Nigeria. They're so funny on YouTube.
I don't think they're homemade. I don't think it's homemade. I think it's probably the...
No. But there are some that there are homemade. I remember like this one friend of mine. He is from South Africa, and he was like showing me these videos from Nigeria, and it was like hilarious. You know, like the whole plot and the way they were acting.
Have you seen the Spider-Man Nigerian?
No.
It's very good.
Where'd you get this, man?
I don't know. Cool. I just saw it on Instagram.
People are so creative, man.
And that was actually pretty funny. I liked it.
Yeah. But you said last time that there are many things, like weird stuff, right, on the internet.
Yeah.
On YouTube and, I don't know, TikTok.
I didn't know it was so much, you know.
It's funny because when he said that, I was thinking about like girls sending their farts. Like, farts. Have you ever seen that shit? Like girls selling farts.
Man, there's crazy stuff going on, man. Even bad stuff, right?
I've never like watched their videos, like specific videos, but
I don't watch it.
I've heard people commenting on those videos saying like, man, that like this lady, she made millions in a period of a year, for example, of selling farts. And apparently, most people buying were from, I forgot. I don't want to say because I don't want to.
Are you guys serious?
So like, there was a specific country that most people were.
I think it's probably like that. That, you know.
I don't want to say because I don't want to offend anyone.
I think it's close to Middle East, probably.
It was either there or like somewhere in Asia. It was
in Asia.
Yeah. But not like China. And
Asia, they have some exotic things, man.
I think it was like India, something like that. But I'm not sure. Sorry, guys, if we're saying bullshit.
Are you recording?
Yes, of course.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Since I sat down here, I've been recording.
You're kidding.
No.
Man, you're serious.
Yeah. That's why we're having the small talk right now.
Okay, God, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't know about it.
I don't care. But but I thought it was going to be a 15-second. Oh, because you didn't
the 5 second.
The 5 second.
We can do it at the end too. It's okay.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
nice.
I forgot the clap though, but
there's a clap.
Man, if there's no clap, I think there's no podcast.
Really?
That's what I think, man.
Yo, you didn't even say anything. Like, what you talking about? Like, you're like so scared I'm gonna be canceled. Man, you know, it's like you didn't even say anything, dog. This is beautiful journey. Like,
that's why we were talking, and then I was wondering, man, when is this gonna start?
Yeah, I thought about that too.
And then, but I don't know. I think it was kind of rude to ask.
Yeah, no, but it's always gonna be like that. I'm going to start recording, and then start talking about
it's whatever. A better way to start.
Yeah, but then officially starting, since you're wondering, we can start with the quote of the day. And let's see if I remember the quote of the day.
Sorry.
So today is not something funny or silly.
Very serious, okay?
Yeah,
man.
Is
man, I look up to this guy, man. I look up to this guy. Yeah, this dude is amazing.
And I appreciate it.
Oh,
well, anyway,
thanks.
Travel is more than the seeing of sights. It is a change that goes on, deep and permanent in the ideas of living.
Is that Hitler? No, I'm playing. Who is that?
This is Miriam Beard.
Miriam?
Miriam Beard. She's a writer, if I remember. As I told you, it's been a while since I prepared this, so I kind of forgot who she is.
It's been like a month. It's like,
Yeah. But actually, I asked ChatGPT
for a
phrase about travel, and then he gave me this. So that's why I don't know much about this author. But I remember, like, she's an author. She writes poetry or books, something like that.
Take into consideration that quote. What is a travel or a trip that you had that resembled that quote from YouTube?
Yeah.
Which one did you?
Which one? One that when I went to Chapada dos Veadeiros, in our state, north of Goiás.
Yeah, why?
That was, I think at the time I was very busy, as I usually am, even right now. But there, it's a place with many waterfalls. I was with nice company, 3 friends of mine. We drove there. And I mean, just being there with waterfalls and going hiking, for me, was so good. Because I could get out of my place, not of my place, but get out of this place, the business of work and everything, and kind of almost reflect on life, if you're like hiking and on the waterfalls with the really cold water and not talking to anybody, but reflecting on yourself. And that place apparently has like an energy that is so weird. I was almost like thinking about quitting my job because of that.
Really?
And many people, they go there and they actually do quit their jobs. They're like, no, I'm moving to this place. I'm going to leave my like past life behind and I'm going to move here and just, be in contact and be one with nature. Of course, I didn't go that far, but it did make me reflect and even like think about that.
That's good energy.
It was a kind of like change that I have. And also like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be focused so much on work all the time, and like give some time to myself, like to just relax. I think it was 2017 or 18. It was a long time. Like over 5 years ago, like 5 to 6 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. It was good. How about you?
Man, I think I like traveling a lot, man. I believe it's always a good experience. It's a money well spent, I think. But I think maybe the best one was the first one with my daughter, that she was like 2 years old.
Such a girl dad.
And actually, we traveled before. She was like 8 or 10 months. I don't remember. But I think when she turned like 2 years old, I think was better. We went to the beach, and I think I had a great time there. It's really interesting when you see, for example, when she was so excited, something that for us, we usually see things and we think this is normal and everything. Okay, cool. But for them, they're amazed by that, Even
anything, right, amazes them.
Yeah, man. And you feel that way, and you feel you can get in that word and you feel the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You feel the same thing. You feel that you have that same feeling. So I think it was.
Which beach did you go to? Like where was it?
This one that I'm talking about was in Florianopolis.
Nice.
Yeah. It was there with her. But I went to Gramado with her. But she was only 10 months. So I think in Florianopolis, she loved it, man. She loved it. Man, a lot, man.
It's nice.
How was your experience with her baby?
Well, my baby. To be clear, I'm not a father yet.
Yet.
Good one.
I want to be a father one day. Yeah.
Next year.
The best trip I had was in Ubatuba in São Paulo.
Famous beach. Is that correct?
It's a famous beach.
It's a famous place.
It is. I think Tim Maya once mentioned that city in one of his songs. I don't remember the quote, but I think he said Ubatuba in one of his songs. And I went with friends. That was the first time I had a trip with my friends. I was 20 years old. It was right before the pandemic. And it was us it was me and other 6 friends, and just that feeling, that exploration, having a house and just talking and having fun, joking around, talking about all different things, going through different experiences. And, it was really nice. It was something that it connected us so much that, it's like we actually feel like we're like brothers of one another. And after that, we always wanted to do the same thing over and over again.
Did you?
We couldn't do it. Not all 7 were available. And it was like 2 years of pandemic, so it was really hard to actually.
7 people?
Yeah, me plus 6.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was able to go to Sao Paulo again, but like in another occasion, and it was only 4 out of the original 7, but it was still very nice either way. And that was interesting because I was able to open my worldview. So that quote, when you said it, I thought about, okay, so this impacts me, something that still resembles to this day. So because it was so special, because it opened my worldview, till this day, it still reflects on my attitudes. So
nice. And it's interesting how when you travel with a group of friends, I don't know, how long did you guys travel together?
It was 10 days.
10 days.
It actually was a week, actually. Yeah. It was a week, something like that.
I think the interaction is so intense during those days that it's like you really form bonds with those people for life. Because I had similar experiences with some friends in the US, but they were all Brazilian.
Nice.
And we like did a road trip through California.
Oh, that seems nice.
I mean, we're so, like, even to this day, this was like almost 10 years ago, I think. Yeah, 10 years ago, exactly. And we're really good friends to this day. Yeah.
That's special.
One of these guys, he's getting married here in our city. He's not from here. His girlfriend is. And because like most of her relatives are from here, so they decided to have the wedding here in Goiânia. And like, we're gonna be able, like the other guys from like Manaus, from Rio Grande do Sul, they're all gonna come to Goiânia from São Paulo.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, there's gonna be another one from Bahia too. So it's like a crowd, like every person from a different region of the country.
That was part of that group?
It was part of the group, yeah.
That's really interesting, man.
Yeah, and we're gonna be here together, like because of one guy who's getting married, and it's gonna be very nice.
And it's interesting how when you stay with a group of people and you take out the internet and all that, and you just like be really intense with those people around you, the bond that you create is something that's so quick that, when you don't have that experience or you've never had that experience, you can't really understand like what that means. So I think it's funny, like, in reality shows, people like, in terms of like a week, 2 weeks, they said, "Oh man, I love you," it's like, and all that. "I love you so much." Like, "Oh, you're a good friend, man. I love you so that I want to be your friend like for the rest of my life." And all that. But it's something that's so intense. Exactly. You're there with that person. You open up to that person so quickly, and when you connect, man, that's special. Yeah. That's special, and you really can't fathom. You can't really measure what that actually means.
But I also think a little over 2 weeks, we start to get annoyed at each other and fight. So I mean, we need to be careful about that.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. But it's good when it's like a good group of people. Like in reality shows, it's like 20 people. Yeah. So for you to like actually like be like, "Oh man, I'm bored with this person," or it's like, "I don't want to see this person anymore." It takes a while. It takes a while.
It does. Yeah. It's just a joke. But have you ever like had such an experience with friends or mostly family when you're
your trips? Yeah, maybe it was a long time ago with friends, But no, but I had really good experiences. I need to think about.
Yeah.
But usually because my word today is focused on my daughter.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm dedicated to this, and
you forgot all these friends already.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to suggest like the 3 of us travel, but then I think we can't like compete with your.
It has to be 4
with your
his daughter to be alone. Like.
She needs to be there.
But this is something that you guys made me think about, and something that, for example, I forgot the word, but I had a really good
trip.
No, I want to remember the word.
Experience.
I will not remember, but anyway. But I think when I was young, my youth, I think it was really good, And when I hear your experiences and yours, so I understand how important is this part of life. And this is something that I think about for my daughter, for example, because this is something that you remember forever.
Yeah.
And I remember a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff that happened to me. I talked to my wife. She had her experiences. And, man, those things that happened to us, we are going to carry this. We are going to take this forever. And these things become part of ourselves. It is. So that's why, man, we got to enjoy our life, because little by little we have a different stage of life, Yes. For example, you don't have that time anymore to travel again, It's going to be a little bit harder. And you too. And me, for example, I have family, and it's even worse. But it doesn't mean that today is not
worse, because now the cost is like times three.
No, I
mean,
right? Time's complicated, and there are more people involved. Man, how can you get everybody together and everybody has the same time to travel? It's even hard when I think only me, my wife, and my baby, man, because she studies and everything. So when you get old, guys, you know that. So you know that it's hard, man. Sure. Oh, there's one person who works on Saturday. The other guy works like this, So that's why I think we need to,
appreciate.
Yeah, these moments,
Yeah, appreciate it.
Because time flies, and these moments are really good, man. I understand. Because I think the experience that I had, they were good. I had good experiences. But I suppose some people, they had bad experiences,
Probably.
Yeah, and you can't come back.
I don't really remember any bad experiences.
Yeah, for me, I didn't have a huge bad thing. I don't remember. I probably had. Everybody had. But I think most of my experience, they were really good, man.
Actually, I remember one bad experience. Yeah.
On a trip?
I think I said that last time, maybe. No? About like in Rio de Janeiro, like the guy's pointing a gun at me. Didn't I say that?
I think we would remember that, Rogerio. I think we would remember
so
that.
I didn't say, because I tell that story to everybody. But I think you know this story. I probably told you already.
I know the story, but not because I don't remember. You didn't tell here.
Not here.
No, you didn't.
It wasn't here.
Did
yeah.
It wasn't here.
So he doesn't know.
You would remember if I had
I probably would remember that story.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me.
It's not something you just throw it out there and everyone would forget. It's like, oh no.
Nobody's going to forget.
It's completely normal.
Yeah, no. But the thing is, I was with a friend in Rio de Janeiro. We were like visiting the city, like doing everything by Uber, by taxi. Like trying to be safe, because we don't know like the city well, so we didn't want to like end up in a favela, for example, or in a dangerous place. But on the last day, we rented a car because we wanted to go to a different city, to Petrópolis.
Okay.
Right?
I went there. I've been there.
It's a beautiful city.
Yeah,
very beautiful.
That's in Rio?
It's in Rio, yeah.
It's very close, bro.
Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, 1 hour.
I think.
I mean, it
I'm
depends
not
on
quite
where
sure.
you are.
Yeah,
it depends on where you are, but I would say 1 hour. I've been there.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
But anyway, so we rented this car, but because the whole trip, the objective, it was like to go hiking in many places, not to stay in Rio. So we didn't stay long in Rio. So I didn't have time before to go to the Christ, to visit the statue of Christ. And then on this day, I was like, okay, we can go to the statue in the morning, and then we take the car and leave. I mean, we took the car, went to Christ, and left to Petrópolis. But on the way to Petrópolis, leaving the statue, I put on the GPS. My phone was not like working well. It was a really old phone. And then I didn't like really check the whole route. And it led us right into a favela. But it was like little by little, It was like we were going like down the street. It showed like a shortcut. I think I even saw like it was a short way to get to the main road that we wanted to go. But I didn't know it was a favela. But then like the houses was starting to get really kind of weird and like very simple. And then the streets were getting very narrow. I was like, oh man, is this safe? I don't know. And then
Am I in a movie?
Yeah, almost like that. And then like there was like this, it looked like the end of the street, but it was actually doing like an S, like a really sharp turn to the right and then a really sharp turn to the left. We would continue to go down to get to the main road, to the highway. But then, like at the end of this street, before the right turn, there was a guy standing up with a pistol in his hand, talking to someone inside the house, and I was like, oh damn, like we can't go back now because like he saw us. Like, should we go forward? Like, let's just go forward, And then like this other person he was talking to came outside, also with a gun in his hand, and they were both shouting stuff at us and say, I don't know what. And this friend of mine, he was driving and he's German, but his Portuguese is very good. He's like, oh, what are they saying? I'm like, I don't care, like just drive. But we couldn't like drive really fast because the street was narrow, the turn was really sharp to the right and then to the left. And I was like, man, we're going to get shot. I don't know. These guys are going to get a motorcycle and come behind us. But anyway, we drove past them, turned right, turned left. They kept shouting. And in my mind, they were going to take maybe they were going to come after us, or maybe we were going to see something worse down the road. Maybe the road was going to be blocked or something like that. But thankfully, we escaped. No scratches. We were not stolen. We didn't get shot or anything.
Okay, good.
It was just like this brief moment of, really scared.
He
like,
saw his life before his eyes.
I saw my life before my eyes, and
My goodness, man.
at the end, we laughed about it.
I just couldn't
It was
imagine.
it was the scariest moment of my life. The scariest by far.
I could imagine.
Yeah.
But the thing is that because you described the structure of the road, I could imagine you like driving slowly, like
Slowly, just like
just like let me just get over here.
Oh my god, man.
And I heard stories that people who drive accidentally through some places and
There are some stories, man. Real stuff.
like
Yeah,
the very
that is
least
correct.
they stop the car and steal all your stuff. The very least. And these are the lucky ones.
But I think this one. By the way, did you check the name of that one later?
The name of this.
The place where you were.
Yes.
I mean, is the translation slum? What is the translation favela? I think it's slum.
I think ghetto,
Ghetto.
isn't it?
I think there are both translations.
Anyway,
Ghetto and
but do you know the name?
slums. Yeah. And I
So-
saw it on TV, like,
Because
like 20 people were killed in this place.
Damn.
It was like a
Are you
war between the
serious, man?
factions, or
Wow.
it was or maybe the police was going there to do some
When
operations.
was that? What year?
20.
20.
Good question.
No, it was 2015, something like this, right?
I don't remember if it was after the one that I said was really good. I think the one that was really good was 2017, and this one to Rio was 18.
Oh.
It was like a year later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Something like that.
By the way, since you told this story, there was two friends of mine. They decided to go to Rio, and they decided to take a photo up there in these favelas. I don't know why. I don't know why. Anyway, so they went there. There was one guy, and then the guy said, "It's $10 if you want to move up. If you want to go up there, if you want to go that way, it's $10 each." So there were two girls, and they gave the guy $20. So that guy is gonna take you there. On the way, there was this boy that he was taking them up there, and then he stopped them, and then he said, "Now I want more $10."
Oh my god! So each person they found along the way.
It's funny because she told me, I don't know why I wanted to go there, but she told me, this guy's gonna rape me.
Damn.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Anyway, but
Did they keep
nothing
going?
happened.
But did they keep going? They
Yeah,
went.
they
They
kept
paid
going.
the two guys.
yeah, because that's for it's the same feeling. I can't come back.
Yeah.
This boy's here. I can't come back. I don't know what he's gonna do. And then they gave this new boy $10, $20. They took the pic and they came back. But it was
Another $10 to leave the place.
I was like, okay, then I was $10 go down.
man, but I was kind of not shocked, but I laughed a lot with her. But she,
I'm pretty sure she told it in a funny way. I can
Yeah.
imagine.
Man, you laugh later, man. Just like he's laughing right now. But at the moment,
Exactly.
you don't laugh at all. It's really serious, man.
At the end
Because
of
you
this,
understand, man. I mean, I think it's real what I saw on TV. It's right here. You know, I think you feel that way.
yeah. But I did feel like there was this rush of adrenaline in my system afterwards. But yeah, we did laugh about it, you know.
I don't want to have this feeling. I mean, not
I don't
want to
repeat. I don't want to repeat the experience either.
Don't you want to repeat with Marcelo?
Maybe the three of us can go there.
I don't think I do.
Yeah.
Dude,
Like
I don't think I want that
to
way.
get our like bondage, like our friendship,
we can
even
bond
stronger.
another way, right? I think we can think about something else, I guess. Caldas Novas is better, I think.
Caldas Novas or Chapada dos Veadeiros. That is a good.
Pirenópolis is good too.
Pirenópolis.
Yeah, because
That
Chapada
is
is 6
closer.
hours, man. 6 hours,
6
right?
hours. It's not that long.
6 hours?
Yeah.
It's not that long?
Well, when you have a
old.
kid.
Car trips, I can't do it anymore, man. Too
Really,
much time.
I love car
much time.
trips.
Unless it's like on a very comfortable bus.
3 hours, I think is okay. Yeah, I can try 6 hours.
I drove for 10 hours last year from here to
For
Tocantins. Tocantins.
Why?
We're visiting family, like relatives, on a
don't know.
farm.
I don't know. Man,
Yeah.
I have a guess. The dude drove 10 hours. Why? I think it was there's something going on there.
There wasn't.
Is it your relatives or your girl's relatives?
No, my relatives.
Lies. Lies.
I don't.
My girlfriend at the
believe
time,
this.
she stayed here. She didn't even go.
I
there.
don't.
No.
Man, this story.
Wait, you
gotta
single
check
now?
Yes.
No.
Man, why did you ask, man? That's okay, man. I asked before.
Let's not talk about this.
Yeah,
I don't
because
wanna-
she's watching now.
I don't want to see her cry. I mean, I want to see you cry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will cry.
I don't even know who she was. Anyways.
Yeah, the guys didn't get to me. You did meet her, right? No,
I did not.
You did not.
But I know she's watching us, and that's okay, man.
Okay.
That's okay. Life is gonna move on.
No comment.
Share the link. Whoever you are. What is her name?
Share the link, and I'm not talking to my ex-girlfriend right now. I'm talking to you listeners.
Yeah. I'm not talking to you, my ex. I'm not talking to you.
But you guys are listeners, people who are watching. Remember to follow us. We have few subscribers, please. If you like this video, follow, click the bell for notifications. Don't forget that.
Yeah, share with your friends.
Is the episode ending?
No.
Oh.
But it's just like, it's a reminder. We need to remind people, yeah.
Good. I was like, what, already? It was like 20 minutes of conversation or something.
No.
Well, that's okay. Yeah, man. Yeah, we gotta share. Sorry,
Yeah.
man. It's okay. Move on.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay, study finds number 1. This is kind of funny. New research suggests no speaking could increase risk for Alzheimer's and dementia. And men are at a higher risk.
Wait a second. What is the research about?
No speaking.
You mean
No
really?
speaking could increase the risk for Alzheimer's and dementia.
Is it serious?
And men are at a higher risk.
No speaking.
No speaking.
Oh, I thought you mean nose speaking, like you speak
No,
words using
nose.
the nose. I was like, what?
Nose. Nose speaking, guys. Like you stick your finger in your nose and like you clean
No,
it.
I'm talking about like, because there's like
You're
certain
thinking
words
about
that
the
you
nose
use.
speaking.
No, I'm talking about like, when you use words that use more of the nasal sound.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was
got
mean that.
Got it.
I was like, what?
No. Yeah.
So this.
I actually can confirm that.
This was surprising because I was like, how
someone in the family gone through that.
really?
Really.
But was that person
No,
like really like
he didn't really talk.
a big
much.
nose picker?
He really didn't talk much.
But he was speaking his nose all the time.
What?
No, I mean because this.
That's the research.
That's the research. The research is that if you keep picking your nose, just
Wait,
like
what? Nose peeking.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you mean nose speaking.
No,
like
no.
Nose speaking.
Nose.
Okay. Now
Nose
I get it.
picking
Yeah,
can
yeah.
increase. There was a new research.
So I
There
have
was a
no
research.
examples for that.
All right.
Man,
Good.
And I'm curious about it. How
How
is it possible? I mean, how can you find studies about it? How can you study people about this?
They didn't actually research people. They studied
the brains,
like
rats.
For example, if Rogerio Rogerio is this guy. For example, look,
I'm sorry, Rogerio is this guy.
I mean, I'm not there yet. Maybe like in 50 years from now, I don't know.
Look,
or hopefully more.
Okay, Marcel is here. Okay, this way. So if Marcel has dementia or something, how am I gonna know that was because that he was picking his nose all the time?
Imagine like someone like, I saw him pick his nose all the time. It was definitely that. I knew it. I told him not to do it.
Stop picking your nose.
You're gonna get Alzheimer's, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But like those studies, they're like the keyword is like may increase the risk.
But it's interesting because it's like mainly men, and it's interesting because why do men continue to pick their nose and women don't?
Because apparently we pick more than women. Women do it too, but we don't see it usually. We don't.
Yeah,
I've never seen
women
it.
are very quiet.
Yeah,
women are very quiet.
I don't think they do that. I mean,
they do that.
No, not in public.
Not in public.
Men, because men don't care about stuff.
It's like in traffic.
Yeah,
it's like remember the 90-second
in the work reunion
red lights. The 90-second red lights that we were saying last time.
That's plenty of time.
There's plenty of time to clean your nose.
But it's probably because of the contact with your brain. I don't know if you like.
Yeah, I read briefly. That's exactly because like our fingernails especially, they are usually kind of dirty, and if you're not really like careful with washing your hands, trimming your nails, you can have like some bacteria, and then if you overdo it, you damage the nerve. It's not the optical. There's like some kind of nerve that connects like the nose, goes straight into the brain. So like you might be bringing like some bacteria, and it may lead or increase the risk for Alzheimer's.
But the person like has like a rate of nose speaking is it like 3 times a day or something like that? Like what?
Starting to get worried now.
No, because I think it's funny. It's like, well, do they know how to measure that? It's like frequently. It's like was that once a day or some shit?
But like from what I understood, it's like they studied like people that had Alzheimer's, and they found like I'm not sure if it was like everybody or like a number of people, but there was like a certain kind of bacteria that was kind of linked to Alzheimer's, and then they found like in rats that like depending on how you damage your nose, and you might be introducing these bacteria,
Oh, okay.
But don't worry, guys. Like it's not like you're gonna pick your nose and you're gonna get Alzheimer's. No, it's
exactly that.
It's exactly
that.
But not like research. This was a kind of like funny.
Don't research it. Just take our word for it.
Yeah. I saw another funny one. That's for vegans. We're not vegan, right? None of us. I'm not. You're not. You're not vegan.
Alex is vegan. You didn't know that?
Are you?
I am.
Yeah. The plants, they scream when you cut them.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is very true. That's why, if you eat plants or if you eat animals, they're all life either way. Yeah. It's a funny, I think there was, this philosopher that joked with one of his friends that was vegan, and he said the only difference is that you don't see the animal scream, like you see the plant screaming, but they're all life. So
yeah, but that's what the study says.
To think about.
I didn't like really read much about it, but I just thought it was kind of funny. Yeah,
it is.
Like,
what do you mean plants scream? What?
That's what it says. Like plants really do scream out loud. We just never heard it until now. I guess they emit some kind of like small electrical signals,
right,
that you can kind of detect, and then
I think
they're interpreting as the plant screaming.
Maybe it's the frequency of our ears, because we can only hear from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz, and maybe they're below, or even I don't know,
or maybe the way that the study is talking about. I don't know. Scream is.
It could be screaming like it could be like a
for example, something I don't know, something their skin. I mean, something.
Yeah. Here's a quote from the article. They don't actually scream. Not in the same way that we might scream. Rather, they emit popping or clicking noises in ultrasonic frequencies outside the range of human hearing that increase when the plant becomes stressed. So it's kind of like what you were saying.
Oh, okay.
It's a frequency that we can't
You're smart, bro.
hear, but they're not screaming. It's more like a popping or clicking sound.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I only
So vegans, you're killing the plants. They're suffering, you know? Don't judge us when we're eating meat. You're also
I mean, they kind of
making
can because, like,
You're also making them suffer.
yeah, but they kind of can because we also eat plants too. So it's like, we like, you know what I'm saying? It's like even more fucked up.
Everybody's screaming, yeah, when we eat. Oh my God. Yeah. And study finds number 3. Those exposed to extreme temperatures are more likely to experience symptoms of depression.
I'm sorry, what?
Those exposed to extreme temperatures are more likely to experience symptoms of depression.
Really?
Extreme, especially cold, I think. When we think of the Nordic countries,
Oh,
for example, like
right.
very cold, they stay very
When you said
quiet.
extreme, I thought about heat.
But that too.
Yeah, I thought about heat.
But that
Maybe
too.
because in Brazil it's so hot.
Yeah, but that's the thing though, because I consider our people happy compared to other countries that are
I think,
in similar
yeah.
situations.
Yeah, this one study is talking more about the cold weather.
I have a question for y'all.
Really
I have a
heat.
question for y'all.
Do you?
Out of the BRICS countries, who do you think is the more happiest?
Definitely not Russia. I don't think China. South Africa, maybe. India, I don't know. I would say Brazil. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I'm biased, but I think Brazil.
I also think Brazil.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think.
Or South Africa.
Do you think so?
It's either Brazil or South Africa.
Well, at least I met South Africans there. They seem pretty relaxed. Yeah, pretty like nice people.
Man, I
Yeah.
think there's a reason. There's a correlation between happiness. I mean, you might think.
I think it's the best correlation is happiness and simplicity.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think so. Because the happiest place in the world is, I have no clue the translation of the country, but Bhutan.
Really, the happiest.
That's the happiest country in the
Yeah.
world. They're like proportionally speaking, like they're the happiest.
But they take into consideration like certain
No, they
aspects.
I mean, like
Or is
financial, like in terms of economy, they're not like developed or anything like that. They don't have like any fancy thing. They have simple ways of living. They're like kind of like, I think, Buddhist way of living, and they're very happy. So I think because they have this more, contact with their natural selves, and I think the community is even more healthier and even more participative. They, are happier.
Got it.
It makes total sense. Because like going back to my example of my trip to Chapada dos Veadeiros, I was in a much simpler place. I wasn't
You're
in
in
like
peace.
fancy hotels. I was in peace. Just going hiking, going to the waterfalls.
Just like Ubatuba, man. It's peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is a simple way of life. Like most people there, when you go there and you see even people who moved, let's say from São Paulo, which is much, much busier than our city.
It is.
But I mean, a lot more stressful. And then like they moved there and they have a simple lifestyle.
Have you ever seen a surf guy unhappy?
I don't.
There is
remember,
no
yeah.
such thing.
I don't remember, man.
Have you ever met a surfer? Maybe that's why.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, I don't think so.
Still 100%.
But I think there's it's a mix of things. But for example, don't you think that the weather here, like the sun here, is usually things are bright, vivid, colorful here.
Yeah.
And if you think about, for example, I don't know, in Europe or some places, some parts of the weather, some months, they are so gray.
Yeah.
They're not colorful.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching the Sherlock series where the actor that does Doctor Strange. Have you ever seen the series?
Oh yes, I've seen
I've
a
heard
few
about-
episodes.
It's a very good series. But it's so sad because when he shows London, it's gray all the time.
All the
like
time.
there's it was like summer days. It's just like blackish days, like really strange.
And I think people tend to stay more at home when it's raining or if it's snowing in those really cold countries.
Very few people get.
Yeah, it's not
Like the
comfortable
sun,
to
if
think
you
about.
go out and like you get the sunlight in your skin, like you get, warm, your body is warm.
But depends. If it's too hot, I can't do shit.
No, if it's too warm,
I can't do shit. I can't think. I can't sit down straight. I can't. I just can't do it. Can't do it.
That's why it's at extreme, I guess. But the study was more towards the cold, like the extreme cold, not extreme heat.
I think it's more likely that we can experience extreme cold and extreme like hotness because it's easier to get a little bit more chilly than to get like hotter. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, that's our point because I agree with you. But yeah.
All right. And moving on. I just want to remind again, you guys, follow, subscribe. And if you are here for the first time, again, welcome. And we just want to make it clear that we're not teaching English. We're here just to have a conversation, spontaneous conversation, no script. Although we do have like a few topics that we like to go over. A structure, like a general, a very basic, but we're not like really reading from anything. We just want to show you how much you can express yourself in English, even if you're not like fluent or if you're still learning. So this is more to encourage you guys to
play with words,
to practice, definitely.
To play with words.
Play with words, speak your mind, and just don't be shy.
Yeah, you cast your thoughts.
Cast your thoughts, yeah.
See, man, I did a great job now.